Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive generational leap for the Indian Navy, pulling straight from some really fascinating recent source materials. If you want a clear, focused look at modern naval defense and shifting maritime capabilities, well, you're in exactly the right place. Okay, let's dive into this. How do you actually hunt a completely silent threat? It's this incredibly high-stakes, tense game of cat and mouse out there in the vast waters of the Indian Ocean, and the stakes, they literally couldn't be higher. We are talking about the incredibly complex world of anti-submarine warfare. It's a world where whoever hears the other first usually wins. Here is exactly how we're going to break this down today. First, meet the submarine hunter. Second, the rising ocean threat. Third, a massive strategic leap. Fourth, the global quad connection. And finally, Section 5, looking to the future. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, meet the submarine hunter. So, meet the MH-60R Seahawk. In military circles, it's affectionately known as the Romeo. It's a multi-role naval helicopter manufactured by Lockheed Martin. But honestly, calling it just a helicopter kind of undersells it. It is arguably the absolute most capable anti-submarine warfare, or ASW, helicopter operating anywhere in the world right now. Packed with advanced sensors and acoustic processors, it is quite literally the ultimate submarine hunter. And the reason it's making headlines right now is that the Indian Navy just commissioned its very first squadron of these helicopters, designated INAS 334. You guys, this isn't just some minor incremental upgrade. It is a massive generational leap in how India actively hunts submarines, completely transforming their operational capabilities on the open water and extending their defensive reach in a really huge way. Which brings us to Section 2, the rising ocean threat, and addressing the gap. And this brilliantly illustrates a massive capability gap the Navy was facing. Historically, they relied heavily on severely aged, technologically obsolete British Westland Sea King helicopters. Now contrast that legacy tech with their primary adversary, incredibly quiet, highly advanced nuclear and diesel-electric submarines from the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy. They've been increasingly active, mapping out Indian waters. It's a dangerous mismatch, right? One that required an immediate and extremely powerful countermeasure. To see how this modernization gap was finally addressed, we gotta look back to the 1970s. That's when those legacy Sea Kings were first inducted. Decades passed with that fading technology, until the shifting threat landscape basically forced a move. In 2020, the US and India signed a massive $2.6 billion deal under the foreign military sales route for 24 of these advanced Romeos. That chronological journey brings us straight to the vital INAS 334 commissioning in 2024. Moving on to Section 3. A massive strategic leap and the dawn of network-centric warfare. Now, the foundational concept to grasp here is network-centric warfare. Basically, this means sharing acoustic data seamlessly, via secure data links, across multiple naval assets. You see, the crucial takeaway is that the Romeo does not fight alone. Instead, it acts like a highly connected digital node within this much larger coordinated web of intelligence and firepower. Let's move to and see how this builds. By actively sharing all that acoustic data, the Romeo synergizes perfectly with the Navy's PAI Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft, as well as their MQ-9B Sea Guardian drones. When you link these three advanced platforms together, processing data simultaneously, it creates this massive, inescapable sonar net that just blankets the ocean. And once a target is caught in that net, well, the Romeo brings some serious strategic superpowers to the fight. First off, it's the ultimate force multiplier. Think about it. A frontline destroyer's hull-mounted sonar has a pretty limited physical range. The Romeo changes that geometry entirely. It acts as an extended eye and ear for that ship. It can fly hundreds of miles out, drop its low-frequency dipping sonar, and detect threats way before they even know an Indian warship is around. Second is its lethality. If a sub is actually detected, the Romeo doesn't just watch it. It's heavily armed with Mk-54 torpedoes and Hellfire missiles to instantly prosecute and neutralize that target. Let's look at Section 4, the global quad connection and geopolitical alignment. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the list of nations operating this exact same aircraft. We're talking the US Navy, the Royal Australian Navy, the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force, and now the Indian Navy. Technologically aligning with these nations guarantees perfect, seamless interoperability during joint quad exercises like Malabar. Because they all operate the MH-60R, they are literally communicating on the exact same frequencies, running the same acoustic software, and playing from the exact same operational playbook. But we do have to face a stark reality check when it comes to the numbers. With exactly 24 MH-60R Romeos ordered, and you stack that against a massive fleet of over 140 operational Indian warships, well, this undeniable capability boost is stretched incredibly thin. The vast majority of those warships still desperately need modern, reliable replacements for their aging legacy choppers just to maintain full readiness. That brings us to Section 5, looking to the future and the domestic defense outlook. First up, we've got to acknowledge that while it's primarily known as a submarine hunter, the MH-60R's versatility goes way beyond just that. It expertly handles search and rescue operations, provides naval gunfire support, and even engages in anti-surface warfare. All of this makes it, without a doubt, the most lethal and versatile rotary wing asset currently sitting on an Indian flight deck. However, because of that severe numbers gap across the broader fleet that we just talked about, a massive Make in India push is currently underway. Under a strategic partnership model, domestic Indian industries are stepping up. They are actively being pushed to build hundreds of lighter Naval Utility Helicopters, or NUHs. This is absolutely crucial to fill those remaining capability gaps and build real self-reliance in defense manufacturing. So the crucial point is to bring it all together right here. The core mission is anti-submarine warfare, spearheaded by the MH-60R Seahawk, the Romeo. But the true game changer isn't just the helicopter itself. It's the shift toward network-centric operations and that incredible synergy with platforms like the P-8I Poseidon. That fundamentally changes how the Indian Navy controls the waters. If you grasp those connected elements, you'll fully understand the profound operational impact of this specific military procurement. But hey, modern warfare isn't just about hunting silently below the waves, right? It's about dominating the skies above them, too. With the naval domain rapidly modernizing, how will India realistically test its incredible indigenous missiles next? Enter Romeos. We're going to dive into that fascinating domestic aerial target system in our very next explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you then.